before we start, I am going to read something to you. And I actually threw my video up on YouTube because I was walking around my property doing this. And so I went through my house because of something, actually two things that happened yesterday. Actually, there was more than two things that happened yesterday that were just like, the heck is going on? And my father who believes in nothing, called part of it out. He's like, every time I go in the bathroom, I hear this crazy noise in I think it's his right hearing aid. He's like, the only place it happens is in the bathroom. And I'm like, there's really nothing in that bathroom except something. And I said that out loud. I was like, oh, there is something in there, spiritually something. So, right, there's something, an entity, whatever you want to call it. There's something in there. And I said that out loud to him, and he just looked at me, and he's like, what are you going to do, sage it? And I was like, you know me too well. Yes, I am. Actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And then what happened this morning, I was just kind of walking through the house. And I used to do this all the time, right? It's one of those practices you start and then everything gets to feeling so good, you kind of forget to do it. So it was one of those. And Psalms 91 just like all of a sudden ran through my head at like lightning speed. And these four beings showed up, these four angels showed up, and they're like, grab it, let's go, like corner to corner. So I went from corner to corner all the way through my house reading Psalms 91. And I want to read it to you because the effectiveness of this passage, just spoken out loud, is so crazy effective. And because of, first of all, the way it was written, the reverence involved in it, and there's just tons of power behind it because you're calling in angels and God's calling in angels with you. So I'm going to read it to you. If you watch the video on YouTube, I walked around my whole property, and I've done this before. Whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth, and I just start blessing everything, rocks and plants. And I don't know, my kitty cat was following me around. She was blessing stuff. It was really, really kind of cool, actually. And I encourage you to do that. If you are not doing a practice like this, some energy will come in and control your area. It's just the way this planet works. There are things out there, whether you see them, don't see them, believe it, don't believe it, it doesn't seem to matter. Your space will get run over. Your space will get taken over. And I don't want to say that to scare you, but Psalms 91 covers the fear of that, which is why I want to read it to you. And what it did in my house this morning, my dad woke up and he was like, oh my gosh, I've been asleep for 12 hours. I was doing this at like 5 o'clock this morning. And so he slept until like 8. He's like, I don't know what happened. And I literally, because I can't go in his room, I literally had my hand on the door and I'm just visualizing corner to corner, reading this thing, right? So as you go through the house, put your hand on the wall. You're altering the cellular information of the space in the wall, right? So you can alter the information of the wall. But let me read this to you really quick and then we'll jump into your questions. All right, so this is Psalms 91. He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High will abide under the shadow of the Almighty. So he meaning you. You abide in the secret place of the Most High. That is your heart space. That's the secret space they're talking about. All right, so this kind of falls under some mystery teachings. They use this passage, and when you take it apart and start understanding the hidden meaning behind some of the stuff, it's just like, oh, holy cow, right? So that secret space, that secret place is your heart space. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him I will trust. Surely he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the destructive pestilence. Think of the period of time we're in. Right now, this is hugely, I would be doing this. I'm going to probably start going back to every day just to get my property back into some kind of order, right? Get myself back into some kind of order. All right, this is verse 4. He will cover you with his feathers. Under his wings you will find refuge. His truth will be your shield and buckler. You will not be afraid of the terror by night. Under his wings, you will not be afraid of the terror by night. Feel the power in that. Go into your heart space and feel that. Nor of the arrow that flies by day. In this period of time, that would be a bullet, especially when all the riots and crazies and, right? You will not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that wastes at noonday. Again, think of the period of time we're in. 1,000 will fall at your side and 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. Right? So what is falling? People around you. It's talking about humanity. Right? Only with your eyes will you behold and see the reward of the wicked. What that means, and this confuses a lot of people, only with your eyes will you see it, meaning you're not going to experience it. You will see the reward of the wicked. You're going to see what they're causing or gaining in their own life, but you're not going to experience it. You're only going to witness it. All right? Because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, the Most High, your habitation. There will be no evil befall you, neither will any plague come near your dwelling. You want to keep the plague out of your dwelling? This verse right here will do it. This verse right here will do it by itself. Right? Remember it. Put in, this is verse 9 in Psalms 91. No plague will come near your dwelling. Okay, let's see, that's verse 10. Verse 11. For he will give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. Right? So not only have we warded off a plague, we've kept the pestilence away. We're not afraid of anything that happens at night or the destruction that wastes at noonday. Now we have the charge of angels. Right? They will bear you up in the palms of their hands. Have you ever felt yourself being held by an angel? Right? And all you got to do is speak it. That's literally what it takes. From the secret place of the Most High, call it in, right? This is how you save yourself. I don't know a better way to say it. This is how you save yourself. So they'll bear you in the palm of their hands, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the adder, the young lion and the serpent, you will trample under feet. Right? So even meaning like the beasts of the field, right? Nothing is going to harm you when you call this power in. Because he has set, I'm in verse 14. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high because he knows my name. He knows my name. He knows your name. He, she, however you call this power, right? Source, God, Sophia, Yah, whatever your word is for it at this point. He will call on me and I will answer him. I am with him. Now this verse says, and this is different in a lot of different variations of reading, but it says in here, I am with him in trouble. I read another one the other day that said, I am with him in times of trouble. So in times of trouble, even if you don't feel like you're connected, if you're doing this verse, you're with him. You're with source. You're with the higher energy. And it has I am in capital letters, meaning the name of God. I am, right? So a Yah, that is the name of God. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him to show him my salvation. So you're showing source, you're showing God your own salvation just by reading this verse. It's crazy. This is like the strongest passage I think I've ever run across. I used to read this over people in the hospital when I would get called in, or if people called me in to clean their house spiritually. It was the sage stick and Psalms 91. I just walk through corner to corner, or do whatever your practice is, but take this verse with you, get into your heart space, and then read it, because you'll get other visions, you'll get other information while you're doing it.